Hi, this is Charles Rathman with Rathman Insights. Usually on this page you find information about construction software, enterprise software, Proptech, and that's what we're doing now, but with a twist. A friend of mine, a longtime friend from college, which is a while ago, is running to be mayor of the city of Neenah here in Wisconsin. And there's one development there, Freedom Acres, fully built out and sold subdivision that won't have roads until 2032, and it's causing all kinds of grief. So we had a conversation about this and what can be done from a technology, hardware, software, and wetware perspective. Let's see how it went. And and full disclosure, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing this to make up to Scott for all the arguments he lost to me while we were in school.
So, have you witnessed anything like this before? I know I certainly
No,
haven't.
no. And I've talked to many other people who develop homes, who are builders, and they haven't seen anything like this. That this is a completely falling down of of the city, the developer, and the builder. And this is what I'll see as mayor is that we're kind of like the umpire, we're kind of the judge. So if residents have a problem with the developer or builder, I can work to basically facilitate that. So if they're
Yeah,
going to tell people don't come here, that's going to have an adverse effect on how people perceive the city. And I was in a meeting with some of the residents, and they gave an anecdote about one person who was here for a month, moved into the area, and they sold their home. They said, I'm not going to deal with this. I don't want to have roads that are mud for the next 8 years. This is a list of all the roads in the city that are failing, and all the
hold it up
ones that are
loud and
white,
proud, like up here.
like that.
Good. Yeah.
Much okay. The ones that are in white, Chuck. The ones that are in white are some of the roast roads in Neenah, and they're not scheduled to be done in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So the first, second, fourth, seventh, ninth, 12th, 14th, 16th, 18th, and 19th roads of the top 20, which is roughly half of it, is not scheduled to be done. So I mean, my city has put money into there is a landfill park named Arrowhead Park, which actually the EPA in 1996 wrote about significant landfills and significant pollutions. They rated it in the top 112 in 1996. So, I mean, it's all full of PCBs. And I mean, in that particular park, it's anywhere from 14 feet till they believe it's as much as 40 feet because it was built on lake bed and marsh. So there's nothing there, but it's all just as PCBs. So I mean, for the city to think about building an amphitheater or a community building, you're going to break the cap. And that's going to cause all kinds of millions of dollars probably to the city for any kind of cleanup for that. Because it's built not on soil, but it's built on paper waste. And paper waste is sterile. It's like building on glass. And if you break a glass mirror, it will shatter. And that's the same thing that will happen with the PCBs. But I mean, yeah, as mayor, I'm trying to focus on roads, and roads in my community are just horrible. Because I mean, I talked to one resident today, and we had record snowfall. Neenah had 21 inches of snowfall, and in that 21 inches out there, out there in the western part of Neenah, it works out to be 4 feet of snow. And you're having 4 feet of snow, then because the road is mud and gravel, a snowblower will be broken. A snowblower cannot pick
Yeah.
that up. So they're going to have to shovel 4 feet. Last week I met some of the residents. One of the residents, his wife was very pregnant. Well, what if she goes into labor? What if someone has a heart attack?
Yeah.
You have 4 feet of snow. I don't think that Neenah resident wants to deliver his new child in the bathroom.
What I wonder when you talk to developers about this, does it make Nina look like an attractive place to engage in a project to, for instance,
No,
help lower the
and
cost of?
And one of the things that the city's been having trouble is bringing in contractors for single family homes. But I mean, they see that, and I mean, construction builders. This is a small world. This is a small amount of communities in the Fox cities. So I mean, if we're not able to get some to come into our city, that completely is that we're developing a bad rep for not fixing our roads, not doing our infrastructure, because the sign blew down for one of the streets because of the fact that they didn't cement it in, and they had high wind. And the post office has talked to them about the fact that the mailboxes are all at different heights because of the fact that the road is not done, and that the residents need to clear it and make it so they can get mail. And get this, Chuck. Postal trucks have been stuck in the mud out there. So they literally have to hire a tow truck to get them. So not only are you having trouble getting your mail, the post office has having trouble literally delivering the mail.
Yeah.
Unparalleled. I mean, it's not like we're building a subdivision on Mars.
So for new construction like this, because to be honest, a lot of communities, particularly rural communities like the one that I'm in the
Yeah.
rural Eagle Township in Richland County,
Yeah.
which is very small, very limited resources. But for a city to have new development and not have a reasonable timeline for
Yes.
extending your roadways to these new properties that are now occupied,
the city has resources from 2026 to 2030. We are allotting over $6 million for improvements to IT. That's a lot of keyboards.
Yeah.
We are allotting $8.9 million for park improvements. That's a lot of swing sets. And $1.2 million in additional new sidewalk construction. None of that is money that could be spent for Neenah's roads that are failing, and for also this subdivision to get them a road.
I look at things, given my background, from a construction software and technology standpoint. And what you want to have ideally is something that takes that development agreement and operationalizes it, dumps it directly into a schedule in terms of, well, gee, here's what needs to be happening when, here's how much the financial outlays are. We talk about the work breakdown structure and then the cost breakdown structure that you need to be able to look at and manage together. It sounds like that isn't really happening here.
None of that is happening. And I mean, that's where the great thing, Chuck, as you know, that technology can literally break it down. So then we can say, hey, what is it costing here? Okay, here's a comparable. Here's what we can do this. Hey, let's get a schedule. Because I mean, I think if you went to residents and said, here's a schedule, okay, we'll do this in the summer of a year from now. We'll do the other half because there may be some houses that we can't all get in the budget the next summer. If you could do it as a 2-year project or 1-year project, or say 1 year we put in the road, then we put in the sidewalks. But through software, you can look at all the costs and to say, hey, maybe we come back in 5 years to do the sidewalks, or maybe it's not only 2 years. But the single fact that we're looking at 2032 is, I mean, it might as well be 4032 for these reasons. Because I mean, and I mean, it's and this is where technology really helps, and this is where something that as you know, technology can improve the work product. Because what if we all put this in the software and they say, hey, you know what? Based on the way the roads are designed and everything, hey, we think we can save $20,000 here. We can save $20,000 there. Because I mean, that's all the things you can find out with sophisticated software and artificial intelligence that will make it a more doable project easier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously there isn't probably the type of granular management system in place that would make all of this stuff really visible and easy to manage. But it seems like the other issue is that there are other priorities. With representative government with alder people and then a mayor,
Yeah.
you'd think that they would be able to prioritize, well, hey, here's like a cool passion project we might have, but we have other obligations we've got to take care of first. Why do you think some of these other things have kind of floated to the top and are getting funded while things like this are kind of lingering out there and causing problems?
I think this is all. It all goes to politics. And I mean, I have seen repeatedly roads that were on the list that got dumped off the list, and other roads that in fact, there's one road that is farther down the list, and they said, "Oh, it's a former alderman's residence." So that'd be nice if we could do that for him.
So do we need to get like
it's
one of the older people to buy a house in this development? Is that going to be the
yeah.
thing?
I mean, it's like real estate. Everything is local. I mean, if your garbage isn't being picked up in your neighborhood, if your alderman lives there, he's going to be like, "Why isn't my garbage picked up?"
Yeah. So it seems like there's, apart from technological and management processes that may be lacking here, there
And I mean,
is more.
has Neenah has so many roads that are lacking. 36.5% of our roads are failing, and a lot of them are just failing. This is where technology could be used, because in other communities, what you find is, for example, in Eden Prairie, we grade Neenah roads from 1 to 10. So there's some subjectiveness in there, and is a 4.1 or 4.2 road a 4 road? And if 4 is considered failing for the Department of Transportation, there's going to be a mayor or other people will say, "Hey, is it a 4.2? Let's do some grade shaving here." And I mean that because it's very subjective. In Eden Prairie, they're on a system of 1 to 100. So I mean, you're not going to then be saying, "Well, I think we're 1.55."
Yeah.
Or 1.001. See, we're not that. So yeah, if you have, and this is where, as you've reported and written and attended many trade conferences on this, technology is basically the answer. Technology can help solve a lot of this stuff,
I'm
because
going to
you
step
can
away
say,
for just a second. Okay, hang on.
yeah, because well, yeah, it's, but getting back to this, and I mean, I just got an email from one of the residents in a posting about this, and they said residents of Freedom Acre, they said, "Thank you for helping when no one would listen. This is absolutely unacceptable for 200 homes. You're living in mud and erosion yards and a lack of safety. We'll be at City Hall on Wednesday."
Yeah. So again, I think we have like as much stuff that we can totally grab on terms of the rules of technology. But so apart from technology, I mean, you can give even there are AI tools that help you identify, schedule bottlenecks and avoid constraints and everything like that. But if the people are not willing to consider the importance of individual needs of residents, it's not really gonna do you any good, is it?
No. And I mean, technology is a great tool, but literally, if they're just going to run a report or do some work and it gets put in a file cabinet or forgot, that is not what needs to happen. So but
so looking forward, what do you think the ideal solution would be? Let's say you wind up as Neenah's mayor. And I kind of think you will, because I know what you're about and what your background and skill set and capabilities are. How do you go about reining this in and initiating some immediate action?
We reprioritize spending. On day one, I want to look at our budget to see. And I mean, for example, we're spending $70,000 on $700 trees and on a street. And $700 for a small tree is an incredible amount of money. We're spending $30,000 for example, on a sign in a park that tells the time and the temperature. In 2026, where probably 97% of the population have a smartphone, where they can see the temperature, they can see the time. Why am I spending $30,000 for the equivalent of a bank clock from 1968? Um, we have to reprioritize a lot of our spending. We have to make this, and I mean, I think this is where basically we have to. I'm not a politician. This is the first time I ran for office, and some people said, "Oh my God, you've never held elected office." But that's why I take it as a citizen. So if I was a citizen, how can I solve this issue? You get a bunch of people together in the room. You get the developer, you get the builder, you get the city's public works, you get the city's attorney. Let's look at the contract. Let's look at that. And then and then you get residents and you find some solutions. This is all about solution-based government. I mean, it's all about how best can we serve our city residents. I mean, that's what I ultimately think you need to do. I mean,
Yeah. So again, there's software for risk management
yes,
that looks at situations and identifies risks, including legal exposure, including, well,
yes,
we have all of these contracts for roads that we should be letting now, and costs are going to go up.
yes.
Imagine if
And-
they were
and-
to decide to
and-
do that this
and-
year
and-
with the
and-
cost of oil being off the charts as
Yeah.
opposed to last year. I mean,
Yeah.
are we making these decisions based on actual data?
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's where technology can help. And there should be some opportunities that the city does look to do technology and that's why I want to go to Madison, sit down with the governor, the secretary of transportation to see what kind of grants we can get that we're not getting right now. What kind of demonstration projects? So is there some demonstration projects that we could do in Neenah that would do our roads that we could maybe say, hey, DOT wants to look at this software or DOT wants to do this type of construction that's different. And I mean, previous mayors, Mayor Ken Harwood, that was one of the ways that he basically got a substantial amount of money for then an overpass. Was a demonstration project because they wanted to try some new technology and other things of that sort. So I mean, yeah, technology can be a solution, but ultimately you have to have people who are focused on technology.
Yeah, you described this project to me earlier, Scott, and I was in disbelief. But then I saw the photos and the videos and the information. I look forward to hearing more about this because it's not just a technology thing where software might be able to give you that accurate cost breakdown structure, the work breakdown structure that tells you who needs to do what, when, how much it's going to cost, so you can have the financial resources available. It's a wetware thing, and you need people who care and have the background in public administration and government, which is why I'm glad that you're running for office here, not me.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you for taking some time to do this and listen to a very important issue to a lot of Neenah residents.